Hello, LinkedIn, Twitch, Facebook, Periscope, of course, YouTube. My name is Frank Lavinia, and you can catch me on Twitter and Instagram at Frank Diggs Data. If you aren't following me on Instagram, you may notice that I do this thing where I let me load up my Instagram page. See if it'll log me in. Where is it? There we go. All right, not now. Come on. All right, so you notice that what I've been doing, oh wow, that aspect ratio is weird. Let's see if I can do this. Will that help? Well, that is strange. All right, well, in any case, I don't know what's going on today. Let's see if I make it, I shorten it. Is that better? There we go. That is new. All right, so basically, you may have noticed that, there we go. You may have noticed that one thing that I've been doing is posting how many days I have been using Pluralsight. And usually it's this column here. Turns out I didn't always do that, but I think it looks really nice. And this, of course, this is a meme that Andy and I always talk about. But basically, this is my Instagram profile. Yeah, although my Instagram feed is mostly dogs and archery, yes, and memes. But basically, one of the things that I wanted to show off, not show off, but I am proud of this, for real, I really am, is today marks the 300th consecutive day that I've been doing, not Instagram, I've been taking courses on Pluralsight. And here is my data page here on Pluralsight. Basically, I ain't lying. If you go back and go back in time here and kind of show, I had a pretty good run here with a number of weeks that I was hitting my monthly target, but it seemed to have fallen apart back in March. So, and you'll see that indeed, since October 8th, 2020, I've been doing this every day. And I love Pluralsight. I really do like continuous learning. Been trying to ramp up on Kafka. More on that in a future announcement. But really get a good handle on kind of, what is streaming data? How do you handle streaming data? And I've done that historically with Azure Event Hub, but how would you do that in Kafka? That's something I've been trying to scale up on. Oddly enough, I think my subscription has been, I'm actually still on the Microsoft old subscription, but I think that finally ended. So fortunately, they provide 5 free weekly courses for data. So I'm still able to kind of keep up my numbers, but I probably at some point have to just buy my own subscription. Now the question remains, can I keep my old setup? I don't know. I am uncertain as to that. Something else, let's see, that I've been working on is a complete rewrite of the content management tools that I use for content automation flows that I've been building out for Frank's World. Basically, now that I've got kind of some handling on the WordPress API, I have been realizing that the original code base, which is kind of based on a 5-year-old code base, believe it or not, I think longer. I originally built it out when I was doing DC Tech Minute. To what I would do is I would use Twitter to kind of source stories Awesome. Awesome. I appreciate that. I'm glad glad I can provide an inspiration. It's been, I like it. Like it's just one of those things where the first, once you build a habit, like it gets to like, if it's like 3, 4 o'clock in the day and I hadn't done my training for the day, I'm getting like antsy, which is good. Now all I have to do is develop that habit in other parts of my life and I'll be rocking it. But it does go to show that you can kind of build out that growth mindset. If you look at all my Instagram stuff, it's always, hashtag always be learning. Oh, cool. Rob commented on that. I will like that. And I'll write right here. Thanks, Rob. And so let's see. Let's see what happens when you pull that for hashtag. I'm always afraid you pull up Instagram. God only knows what you'll find. Well, that's cool. Always be learning. See, most of it is my stuff, as you can see. It seems like it's also catching on, which is cool. Tomorrow, I'm going to call it Montgomery or Maryland Day because that's 301 is the area code around here. So maybe I'll do it then, another live stream about that. But yeah, I am super excited, as they say. I really like it. I love the fact that there's kind of these free courses that I can take. Can't browse the whole catalog anymore, but you know what? I wasn't paying for this for the longest time. It just happened to change jobs while I was like 200 days in. I was like, well, let's just see how long this will go. And I thought I would make it to like 250, but no, I mean, finally caught up with me. But I really do like Pluralsight. Big fan, big fan. So let's see what else is going on in Frank's world. So yeah, I created a new repo and a new project. So one of the things that I really want to integrate right now, I rely on a website to kind of Power Automate Desktop to do a lot of my content automation, but I might be able to pull it off where it's mostly API to API, from the YouTube API to WordPress API, as well as my old screen scraping utility kit from the Windows Phone, Windows 8 programming days that I've written about, and there should be an MSC article or two on that platform. And I should be able to streamline the process. I'm still kind of thinking about what does it mean. This is the philosopher in me. What does it mean to write a blog post? Like, what is a blog post exactly? Is it an article? Yes. Is it kind of data? Is it kind of like tweets, right? Tweets used to be called microblogging, right? Before it was considered social media. It was really kind of considered a microblogging platform, where the idea is you post small status updates. Everything else that's been built on top of Twitter, the social aspect, is kind of relatively new, and I think in a bid to compete with Facebook, because Facebook has been very successful. Yeah, so that's kind of the things I'm doing. I'm just enjoying my summer off, if you will. Probably do some streams on the beach in a not too distant future. Yeah, that's about it. How are you all doing out there? Let me know in the comments if you don't get a chance to respond live. You'll notice that I'm wearing my Targeted by Data t-shirt. And if you want to get your own, you can support the show by going to datadriven.tv, click on the t-shirts link, and you'll see we have a number of designs available. Which Targeted by Data is in there, yes. And then the original, and then there's SSIS, Rock Your Retail World. Quantum Barbershop is still there, and Pip Installed Donkeys, as well as Datalorian. I have fun with Photoshop, maybe too much fun with Photoshop. But that's it from beautiful Maryland on this sunny, warm but not too warm day, which is quite a delight actually. Usually August here is miserable. Let's see if I have any chats. Ooh. Hey. Let's see if I can share this. Drop this in this window. Will Restream pick that bad boy up? And it will. I just saw this. Apparently, I just got access to IBM's new quantum lab. Nice. I was talking to Andy about this yesterday after the stream and after we published a new episode of Data Driven about some quantum computing ideas that we had and things like that. But this is pretty cool. The quantum stuff is heating up. Like there was an article, I think it was in ZDNet. Let me see if I can dig it up. I'll put it on Frank's World later today. ZDNet, quantum. Is it? Here we go. When I said this like back in November of 2019, people thought I was crazy. And here we are. Now, it's still in its very embryonic stage, right? This is not, it's not getting quite mainstream yet. But as someone who I like to consider I'm smart, but the learning curve to get into quantum algorithms is not trivial. So the best time to get started is today. And I think that this is an interesting article. I read it, but basically, like, when there's going to be a hardware breakthrough, whether that's actual quantum or better emulation on existing kind of conventional hardware, when that happens, the floodgates are going to open and there's going to be a lot of interest in this field. I think there's going to be the traditional kind of hype curve that we see with every other technology. But I also think that there's going to be a demand for it. And I think this is going to have staying power because it's interesting. To fill the increasing number of openings in quantum, copying and pasting even the most expert knowledge of classical computers into the quantum world won't exactly cut it. Yeah, I mean, it's not copy and pasting. It is a different way of thinking. Yeah, that's interesting. I know last summer, last vacation I took, I actually brought 2 quantum computer books with me. There was the big kind of hard text one, Applied Quantum Computing, and I'm still halfway through Quantum Computing for Everyone. Oddly enough, the academic textbook I found easier to read than the one that's for everyone. So maybe I'm the problem. I don't know. Speaking of books, let me get some books. Oh, let me see if I can roll this graphic while I get some books. All right, well, strictly speaking, this is not going to be a book review because I haven't finished it yet, but I did pick up this copy, or it was sent to me by someone I used to work with. And it's an interesting book because it's very practical. A lot of sales books are very kind of pie in the sky and motivational, rah, rah, rah type thing, but this gets into the practice of it, not really about the practice of qualifying leads. It's an interesting book. I haven't finished it yet, maybe like a chapter in, but I like the approach. It reminds me very much of the Mahan book, which if you've worked in the Microsoft Technology Center, if I just say Mahan, you know who I'm talking about. But there's a book, it's called Let's Get Real or Let's Not Play. That is an awesome book. It's very practical in terms of how would you set up a technical engagement, things like that. This book here isn't really focused on technology per se. It's just kind of just basic kind of sales. So I'm definitely going to bring that one with me to the beach. Here's another one that arrived. So I saw this on Amazon, and I was like, I've been trying to learn more, get back into the Raspberry Pi thing and do some IoT kind of fun projects with myself and the kids and things like that. But I never really, there's just a lot. It's a different mindset. It's a different process, right? And so I saw this book and I was like, you know what? I'll get it. Pick up the box, and it's like, look how thick this book is, right? And I'm looking at it like, oh my God, like there's a lot in it. And I'm looking like at some of these diagrams, and I'm like, oh, look at that. What are the odds? Linear algebra. Linear algebra. For those of you who don't, no idea what I'm talking about, linear algebra is a type of mathematics that is crucial to quantum computing, as well as econometrics and a few other kind of branches of math and science. But I did not expect to see it here in an electronics book. How about that? So all that time I spent, prepping up and skilling up for quantum computing, maybe it'll have some other practical uses too. Yeah, I did not expect this book to be so thick. I was kind of hoping for like the For Dummies guide, but this is, I'm going to give it a fair shot. I already paid for it, so I mean, I already have it. I was hoping I can kind of give this to the kid to read, but I don't know. It seems a bit, but who knows? Maybe just toss him into the deep water, right? You'll also notice I changed some of the background stuff. Finally getting a chance to set up the Office/streaming background. You will see this here, the La Fin du Monde sign, is from Paul Thurrott himself. He was going to get rid of it, and I reached out and was like, hey, can I have it? And he actually sent it to me. I couldn't believe it, which was pretty cool. And I have the my tablet license plate back from when I was a tablet PC MVP, and the painting of the Old World Trade Center, which most of it's obscured by the monitors. But when I stand up, it looks really nice. As well as the Deep Space Nine station, little model there, and a smaller version of the Trade Center. And there's my Infinite Cloud there, and kind of a mess on the desk, really. But with that, I'm going to end the stream. I do have to hustle. But thanks, John, for watching. I'm glad I could be of inspiration. And, always be learning. I'm going to follow that hashtag. Although it's rather self-serving since it's mostly me. But you'll see that I really like learning. That's really it. So with that, I'm going to end the stream and say thanks for watching, and I'll let you know how these books go. If you have any books you want to recommend, hit me up in the comments on whatever platform you're watching me on, whether it be LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, blah, 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 blah. Although I tend to get mostly spam on Twitch. I don't know what that's about. So with that, I will end the stream and say thank you for watching, and you remember to make it a high impact kind of day.